My name's Jarrett Leiker, and I'm a personal injury attorney, and I'm here to talk to you today about rideshare accidents. Rideshare accidents are becoming more and more common every single day around the United States. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the most important information you need to know if you are in a rideshare accident. So if you were just in a rideshare accident, here's some of the most important information that you need to know what to do right after the accident. Number one, you need to make sure you call the police, absolutely, so that way they can document what happened. No matter what, or no matter the severity of the accident, the police should be called so that way there's documentation to know who was liable at the time of the accident. Number two, take photos, take video, get information from the other driver, obtain their insurance information, kind of like a little mini investigation. All the things that you need right on the scene. And sometimes if you leave the scene without getting that information, you'll never have another chance to get it again. The next thing you should do is make sure that you are treated immediately for any injuries. Any part of your body that you have pain in, you should seek care right away. Because one of the things that can really be a detriment to your case is if you delay in your care. What the insurance company for the rideshare is going to do is they're going to try to say you weren't very hurt because you delayed in your treatment. So you want to make sure, get in to a urgent care, an ER, even a chiropractor, anything as soon as you can right after the accident. Another important piece of information about rideshare accidents is you want to know how long you have to file your claim. So it depends on which state you're in, but I'm going to talk today about two states, one, Kansas, and two, Missouri. In the state of Kansas, there is a 2-year statute of limitations. From the date of the accident, you have 2 years to file your claim. That doesn't mean open an insurance claim. That means to file a lawsuit. If it goes past that deadline, you could be forever barred from filing a claim. Now let's talk about Missouri. Missouri's a little bit better in a sense that Missouri has a 5-year statute of limitations. So from the date of the accident, all the way 5 years forward is how much time you have in order to file your claim, and that means file a lawsuit. That doesn't mean call the insurance company on the very last day to open a claim, because they're gonna make you either zero or very little of an offer because they know the statute is gonna expire probably the next day. So it's really important that you seek the help of an experienced personal injury attorney when it comes to the statute of limitations, because that's something you do not want to miss out on, because your claim could be barred forever. One of the big questions we get about rideshare accidents is, how do you sue the rideshare company? Are we suing the driver? Are we suing the rideshare company? Are we suing the insurance company? And so what you need to understand is most claims resolve without litigation, which means without having to file a lawsuit. But if we did have to file a lawsuit, the way that it would be done is that we would name the driver as a defendant, and we would list the rideshare company and their insurance company as defendants as well. What's important to understand is, I think a lot of people get worried. They're like, hey, this person is just doing rideshare, they're delivering groceries or whatever that they're doing. Like, I don't want to file a lawsuit against them. I think it's like a personal matter. Like, I feel guilty. You need to understand, like, that's not how it is at all. They're going to be protected by the insurance company that insures rideshare, whether it's Uber or Lyft or DoorDash or whatever it is. Even though that person is named like personally in the lawsuit, that's not exactly who is going to be responsible for the damages. So I think that's something that everyone should feel comfortable about. I know that's something that makes people kind of uneasy sometimes, but understand it's really just a claim against the rideshare company and the insurance company at the end of the day. The next part of a rideshare accident that we should explore is, what type of damages can I get, or what type of compensation can I get? So that word damages, just so that you understand, that's how we look at the whole picture of any accident case. We want to know how someone was impacted. And so we look at many different categories of the damages. The first one is past medical bills. So anything that you had for treatment that was caused by the accident that you've already incurred once we file a claim or we're getting ready to send our demand or file a lawsuit. Then we'll look at any future medical bills. Sometimes the doctors will say, hey, this person needs physical therapy or they need chiropractic treatment follow-up for the next year. And so those things will equate into our future medical damages. And then we'll also look at any past lost wages or future lost wages. Maybe you've been out of work for months and then you may not be able to work again. And so we have to work at the past damages, and then we have to look at the future damages when it comes to any wage loss. The next thing we look at is the non-economic part, and that is the non-economic damages, and those can be anything from like duties under duress, things that you normally could do at home that you're not able to do anymore, or you're able to do under a certain amount of pain. Even things as easy as like mowing the lawn or getting dressed. All kinds of things, that duties around your house that you would normally do, but since the accident, unable to do, or you're doing in an extreme amount of pain. So those duties under duress fall under those non-economic damages. And then also your pain and suffering, things that you have been through from the date of the accident forward. So we'll look at the non-economic damages past, meaning from the date that we send the demand or that we file the lawsuit, and then any future non-economic damages as well. A few of the other small things that we can work towards in your damages package is we'll also look at like mileage. If you have had to spend a ton of money driving back and forth between appointments, those are things that you can get compensated for as well. So as you can see, there's a big picture of damages, and that's why you need an experienced personal injury lawyer that knows how to work these damages up and package them correctly so that you get compensated for your losses after a rideshare accident. So the last part of this video, I just want to tell you about the legal process when it comes to filing a rideshare claim. So just like any personal injury case, it's gonna start by us or any other experienced personal injury lawyer opening up a claim and contacting the insurance company for the rideshare. Now, we'll send a notice of representation. The claim will then be open. Now, a lot of times during that process, the clients are usually treating. So there's like a kind of a little bit of a flat time in there where we don't know what the case is gonna do, because we don't know what the severity of the injuries will be, what the permanency of the injuries are, if someone's gonna need surgery, because a lot of times you start with really conservative treatment, chiropractic, physical therapy, of course, unless you had catastrophic injuries, but most people, they're starting with something conservative. And then if it doesn't work, then they go to pain management, then they go to an orthopedic doctor, and then, they may need surgery. So in that period, after we open the claim, there's that medical treatment phase, so then we kind of know where the case is gonna go. As soon as someone completes treatment, then what we'll do is gather all the medical records, and then once the medical records are in, we send a demand package to the insurance company. On that phase, it's really important to understand, we'll go back and forth with them sometimes for days, weeks, or months, and if we can't get a resolution, one of two things will happen. One, we will schedule a pre-suit mediation, which I'll talk about that in a second, or two, we'll file a lawsuit. And so back to the pre-suit mediation, we get together with the insurance adjuster from the other side. Sometimes they bring in a lawyer as well. Our client will be there, we'll be there. We'll kind of be in two separate rooms, and we hire a third-party mediator who comes in, and we present our case ahead of time to them. We give them all the evidence, all the information. The other side does the same, and we'll kind of go back and forth all day in a mediation setting, pushing numbers back and forth to see if we can get it resolved. And a lot of times those mediators are retired judges, so they're fantastic people to give both sides a perspective of objectively what the case is worth. Because everybody has, strong feelings one way or another. The client has a strong feeling, and we do. Defense has a strong feeling, and so they kind of help us get to that middle ground and get the case resolved. If we can't get it resolved, whether through the demand or through the pre-suit mediation, then we would file a lawsuit. As far as filing the lawsuit goes, we would then start in a discovery process. There'd be depositions, and eventually it could lead to a trial. A majority of cases never reach the trial phase. But one thing, and what's super important, is that you need an experienced personal injury lawyer that works your case up from day one like it's going to trial. Because that's how we do things in our office, is that we prepare for trial from the day that the case comes in. That's the way that we approach things, so that way when that day comes, if it does, we're ready to go.